Bill C-59 is a bill that I cannot accept. I will be opposing Bill C-59 for a number of reasons, not the least of which the fact that it implements the unfair tax scheme that this government introduced in their budget, that transfers so much money to the 15%. 15% of that money goes to the wealthiest Canadians in this country. Income splitting, of course, I refer to, and increasing the TFSA. Now, a number of my colleagues have been talking about these issues, as they should, in some detail. I wanted to talk a little bit today, because we only have 10 minutes. I want to talk a little bit today about a couple of the issues particular to that I found noteworthy and that have an impact on people in my constituency. So I sort of set it up as the good, the bad, and the missing, Mr. Speaker, and I will proceed to explain why. Let me first of all say that this practice of omnibus bills that was introduced by the Liberals has really, this Conservative government has put that move on steroids. This bill is over 150 pages long. It deals with more than 270 clauses. It amends dozens of acts, frankly, many of them which don't even touch the budget within 100 miles, Mr. Speaker. It undermines, these kind of bills undermines the ability of MPs to do what it was that we were sent here, and that is to scrutinize legislation. So let me talk for a moment about something that I think is good in this bill, and that is what was a couple of days ago called Bill C-58, because the government put Bill C-58 dealing with veterans directly into this bill, and I'll speak to that in a second. Bill C-58, as it was known, I support it very much because it improves the transition process of Canadian Forces members and veterans to civilian life. It establishes the retirement income security benefit to provide eligible veterans and survivors with a continued financial benefit after the age of 65 years. It establishes the critical injury benefit to provide eligible Canadian Forces members and veterans with lump sum compensation for severe, sudden, and traumatic injuries or acute diseases that are service-related, regardless of whether they result in permanent disability. And, Mr. Speaker, it establishes the family caregiver relief benefit to provide eligible veterans who require a high level of ongoing care from an informal caregiver with an annual grant to recognize that caregiver support. I mention this in particular because my colleague, my neighbouring MP, the member from Sackville Eastern Shore, has been fighting tirelessly on behalf of veterans, and he spoke the other day in support of these changes for veterans. And the Minister of Veterans Affairs actually accused that member of trying to hold up these changes, hold up and delay the implementation of Bill C-58, and so that's why he stuck it into the middle of this omnibus bill. What's interesting, though, Mr. Speaker, is that, as has been explained by the member from Sackville Eastern Shore, is that had they left Bill C-58 as a standalone piece of legislation, it would have been in committee today. It would have been dealt with. It would have been reported back by the end of this month, and it would be ready to be put into law by the end of May, early part of June. As a result of sticking it into this omnibus bill, Mr. Speaker, it's going to be at least the end of June before this legislation has been completed. So, in other words, the minister, belying his words, the minister, in fact, is intentionally himself delaying the impact of these particular provisions, Mr. Speaker, and that's something that I'm completely opposed to, and I must say I expected better from that minister, that he would misrepresent the position of my colleague, that articulate and hard-working advocate on behalf of veterans. I also want to commend the government for agreeing with a position that the New Democratic Party has taken for many years, something that we proposed in our platform of 2011, and that was to extend the compassionate care benefits for Canadians caring for loved ones. We talked about that in our 2011 budget to move it out to 6 months. It's extremely important, Mr. Speaker, but in 2011, that was before the government introduced changes which have had the impact of denying Canadians eligibility, have constrained the Canadians that would in fact be eligible for this benefit. So while we agree with the fact that it's been extended, we do face the same problem that exists with the EI benefit program in its entirety, and that is access. Mr. Speaker, let me refer to a couple of points that were made by representative from the Canadian Alliance of United Seniors on this particular issue. He says, and I quote, "Extending this program is a good idea, but there are still some major problems with this initiative. The first one being the fact the measure can be used only for caring for a terminally ill person dying within 6 months. Not good enough, as many persons who are very ill are not diagnosed as terminally ill in this short time frame, but could still use important care as well. Many persons who are the potential caregivers are not working or are self-employed and thus will not have access to any funds through this program. So while a good improvement, it needs much more work, particularly as the population ages. Mr. Speaker, while there may be a slight increase in costs if we were to deal with the access issues, it is certainly a much more effective way of providing care than the options. I also want to say that I've talked to constituents who have come to me and made representations on behalf of ALS Canada who would like to be included in this benefit by changing the wording to include those who are in, quote, significant need of caregiving because of terminal illness, unquote. It's too bad that wasn't part of this change. A couple of things that were particularly noteworthy on a negative side is what the government has done with respect to the public sector sick leave. The government is overriding their own recently redrafted Public Service Labour Relations Act and allowing the Treasury Board to arbitrarily set sick leave and disability plans for employees in the federal public service. This is an affront to the ongoing collective bargaining process. Mr. Speaker, it is completely wrong and it is utterly disrespectful for the whole process of collective bargaining. I have 1 minute left. Let me say this. I have already spoken about my concern with the government raiding the EI fund once again, just like the Liberals did, to the benefit of the wealthy few. I'm disappointed that the government did not come up with a plan for providing affordable daycare spaces, as we've proposed, $15. The bill does implement the enhanced universal child care benefit, and we have committed to keeping this, but we also think, Mr. Speaker, that affordable quality daycare spaces is something that is necessary. Let me finish by saying that what I've heard from some of my constituents that things that they would like to see: develop a comprehensive strategy to deal with persistent structural youth and underemployment, immediately reverse the federal government's plan to raise the retirement age for old age security and guaranteed income supplement to 67, fix the Veterans Affairs by reopening those those closed offices, Mr. Speaker, and start listening to Canadians and show them some respect. Thank you.